Okay, thank you to everybody who is attending. My name is Marc Drumm. I'm an instructional designer here at Westchester University in the Office of Distance Education. And today we're going to be talking about captioning your course videos. So before I get into that, I just want to plug some of our upcoming webinars. We have some great topics coming up. It's kind of hard to believe that we're going to be doing something on snow day preparation when it's almost 80 degrees outside, but that is coming up. My next webinar will be on November 20th, and I'll be talking about the online exam proctoring tool Examity, which is a really neat piece of technology. So if you're interested in that, I hope to see you on the 20th. So let's talk about what we're going to discuss today. So we're going to talk about why we should caption videos, and I think there's probably one glaring reason that comes to mind for everyone, but there are other reasons, and they're worth mentioning. We'll talk a little bit about terminology. We'll do a couple of demos with Camtasia and with YouTube, and then there'll be a note for people who use My Media, also formerly known as Kaltura. So with that, why should we caption our videos? ADA compliance. I mean, that's the big reason, I think, in everybody's mind. But there are other reasons where captioning can be valuable. If the speaker isn't clear or has a thick accent, maybe English or whatever the primary language of the video is not that person's first language. So if they have a thick accent, it's hard to understand. Captioning can be very useful there. It can be useful for people who want to watch videos in an environment where audio is going to be disturbing other people, so at work or in a library. And also, it can be very useful, especially in education, when you're introducing technical terms. What comes to mind is subjects in the health sciences, right? There can be some extremely long and very difficult to understand technical terms that if you're hearing for the first time and you're watching a video, you may want to say, what? Or what is that? Or how do you spell that? And this is where captioning can be very useful for something like that. Let's talk a little bit about terminology. So there's closed captioning, and that's something that typically does not appear unless it's activated by the viewer, right? So at home on your TV, you need to hit the closed captioning button, right? If you're watching a video online on YouTube, you need to hit the closed captioning button, and there's some sort of action that needs to be taken in order for those captions to appear. Open captioning forces the captions to appear regardless of any sort of user action or activation. This is also sometimes known as burned-in or hard-coded captioning because the words actually become part of the pictures in the video. There's no way to turn them off. They will appear no matter what. Now, sometimes subtitles and captioning kind of get mixed together. There is kind of a subtle difference between the two. Subtitles, they assume the viewer can't hear, or I'm sorry, they assume the viewer can hear but cannot understand the language or accent of the person speaking, or the speech is not entirely clear. So again, usually those are forced to be shown on the video somehow. And then there are captioning channels. So it is possible to have more than one type of captioning within a video. So the typical example of that is, if you go home and turn on one of the Spanish-speaking channels, if you activate the closed captioning, you're usually given some options. One is captioning in Spanish, and sometimes they provide captioning in English as well. So just a little bit of terminology there as we move forward. So let's talk a little bit of trivia. So the first TV show to use open captioning was The French Chef, and that was back in 1972. on PBS. So I'm going to ask you to think about what is the first TV show that used closed captioning. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put up a little poll here, and we're going to take a vote. And we're going to see which one do you think it was. So closed captioning was first demonstrated in 1972 in which TV show? And choices are Gunsmoke, The Mod Squad, MASH, and Emergency. Somebody went for MASH right away. Any other takers on this? Let's take a look at what we've got so far. So everybody's saying MASH on this one. And let me just hide the poll there. I'll be happy to let you know that you are all wrong. The answer is The Mod Squad on February 15th in 1972. So there is your weekly Mod Squad mentioning. Moving along. I want to talk about ADA compliancy, and this gets into talking about the law. And I want to make it very clear that I am not a lawyer. Okay, so if you later on go back and say, well, hey, Marc Drumm from Distance Education said that such and such and such, I want to make it very clear I am not a lawyer. I am not qualified to give out legal advice. That being said, here is what I've read about the subject and my understanding of creating ADA compliant captions. And these tips actually come directly from TechSmith, who's the company that makes Camtasia. So I would like to think that they are fairly reliable. You can read through what's here. I think really the big tip is the very first one, and that is 1 to 3 lines of text appear on screen all at once, stay there for 3 to 7 seconds, and then are replaced by another caption. I think that's really kind of the key tip that needs to be followed. A lot of the other ones are just very kind of common sense. Use a font similar to Helvetica Medium. Well, they want it to be readable, have good resolution, not more than 32 characters per line. These are just things to make it, usable and readable and, give people the time they need in order to actually read the caption. So I don't think there's anything real surprising from these tips here. There are more tips available from them about captioning, and I'll show you a link at the end of this presentation where you can get some more information about that. But I think really that first tip right there is kind of the key that you just need to keep in mind. So we're going to go and I'm going to do a couple of demos for you. The first will be in Camtasia, and then the second will be in YouTube. So let me switch over to my desktop here. And I got my browser open. And what I'm going to do is I am going to open up a video that I created in Camtasia. It's a very short video. All it is me giving a demonstration about how to type in the URL for the Westchester homepage in your browser and navigate to the Westchester homepage. So it's a very kind of simple video. I'll play it for you. It's very short.
Hello and welcome to Internet 101. Today we'll be learning how to navigate to the Westchester University website. Simply open your browser and type in the URL at the top of the page. Press return, and that will take you directly to Westchester's site. Thanks for watching.
Okay, so very simple, very kind of quick and easy video. You're going to be sick of hearing it by the time we're done with doing all these demos, because we're going to be replaying bits of this video or bits of this audio over and over and over again. But at any rate, in order to bring up the captioning window within Camtasia, It's actually part of the controls that are along the middle here. So right now the clip bin is activated, but if I go over here to more, sometimes it just gets hidden. One of the very last, it's the second to last choices is captioning. Now let me just mention real quickly before I get into this any farther. This is obviously Camtasia for Windows. There is a captioning option in Camtasia for Mac. However, it is not as fully featured as the Camtasia for Windows version. There are some things that are missing, in particular the speech to text feature, which I'll be showing to you in just a second. There's a reason why Camtasia for Mac doesn't cost as much as Camtasia for Windows, and that's because there are certain things that are not included in the Mac version. So my advice, if you are a Mac user like me, send those emails into TechSmith and say, hey, get your act together and let's get this on par with the Windows version. But at any rate, one of the things that you can do, and let me go back to the beginning of the video here, is there is a button towards the upper right corner of this box that says speech to text. And what that will do is Camtasia will go through the audio of your recording and try to create its own captions. Okay, so it's going to try and recognize what you're saying and create captions from it. Your results may vary. In fact, I'd tell you results will vary. So let me click on the button here. And one of the first things you see is there is an option to train Camtasia to get it to recognize and understand your voice better. I'm not going to do that now. Believe it or not, the training can actually take quite some time. I did part of it once, and I know I spent almost an hour doing it. So the results that I got after doing it were improved, but again, I'm not just due to the constraints of time, I'm not going to show it now. Here, we'll go through it, and then you'll see what kind of results that we get from this. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say continue. And now what it's doing is it's going through the audio of my recording, and it's making its own captions. Now, when I say results vary, I think you'll be able to see right away. Let's just start, and I'm going to go through the first caption. Okay.
Hello, and welcome to Internet 101. Today we'll be learning how to navigate to the Westchester University website.
Okay, so as you can see, the caption says, hello and loan CNN won a 1200 and had a net gains and losses to Hammerstein website. There are some absolutely hilarious transcriptions that come from this. Obviously, this is not very close. And as I mentioned before, going through that voice training will help it get closer to something that's accurate. But one of the benefits of using this technique is that it's actually gone through and set up the captions within the timeline, right? So as you can see here on the third track, this is where my captions are appearing. And as I move throughout the video, it changes the captions appropriately. And now all I need to do is go in and change and fix, really, what they've typed. So if I go here and I go up to this first caption, I just click on it. Now I can just, like any word processor, go in and start changing around the text. Once I'm in kind of this caption editing mode, there's a couple of keys on the keyboard that are very helpful. One is the return key. Anytime you hit the return key, it will play the audio and video just during that portion of the caption. So if I hit the return key.
Hello, and welcome to Internet 101. Today we'll be learning how to navigate to the Westchester University website.
And that's it, right? So I can go and I can now start typing. and fix this, right? So I can say hello and welcome to Internet 101. Today, okay, I don't remember what I said at this point. Let me hit return.
Hello and welcome to Internet 101. Today we'll be learning how to navigate to the Westchester University website.
Today we'll be learning how to navigate to the Westchester University website. Okay, and now I'm done with this caption. So the other key that is important in this sort of editing mode is the tab key. When I hit the tab key, that automatically takes me to the next section for this caption. And then if I hit return, I can hear the audio then for this particular section, right?
Simply open your browser and type in the URL at the top of the page.
So actually this one wasn't too bad. Simply open your browser and type in the URL at the top of the page, period. Right? So now it's just a matter of going through and making corrections to each one of these captions. All right. So that's one kind of approach that you can take to this. Okay. I'm going to clear out all of these captions. Okay. I'll show you another approach. And this applies if you have a transcript of your video. So let's say before you made your video, you wrote out a script for the whole thing. And then as you made it, it was just a matter of reading that script or following that script. So the good news is you already have all the text, and now it's just a matter of taking that text, pasting it in, and having captions made from it. So what I did was earlier on, I went and I wrote up a transcript, right? So I just did this right in Notepad. And I'm just going to copy this text, right? And I'm going to go in and I'm just going to paste the whole thing right in there. After I do that, I can click this button down here in the lower left corner of the captioning window, and that is the Sync Captions button. And let me go ahead and do that. And what's going to happen is it's kind of giving you some information about what's going to happen here. But essentially what's going to happen is the video is going to start playing, okay? And you'll be able to see the caption towards the bottom of the video on the right. And basically, anytime you get to a point where one caption should end and a new caption should begin, you're going to click that word within the captioning window. Okay. So this takes a little bit of practice. There's some timing involved and some reading. You want to kind of keep an eye on, okay, where are we in that caption on the right side? Maybe when we get towards the end of the second line, we'll stop there and we'll start a new caption. But let's just kind of go ahead and go through it, and you can get a sense of how this works exactly. Okay. So I'm going to hit continue.
Hello and welcome to Internet 101. Today we'll be learning how to navigate to the Westchester University website. Simply open your browser and type in the URL at the top of the page.
Okay, I clicked, started a new one.
Press return, and that will take you directly to Westchester's site. Thanks for watching.
Okay, so by going and clicking at various intervals, I was now able to break up what was essentially one long caption into multiple smaller captions. So if you have if you have a transcript of what you've written, very useful. Now, you can also use this. Let me go back and I'm going to say delete. And so this is as if I was once again starting over again. You could also use this to kind of manually enter your captions, right? So instead of, kind of typing and breaking up, going caption by caption by caption, you could just start here, play through the whole video, stop periodically, type in. It's almost like dictation, right? Type in everything all at once and then go back and hit sync captions and break up the captions that way too. So it's kind of another alternate sort of way of creating these captions. And then finally, there's just kind of a manual sort of input way of doing it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start playing the video. I'm going to wait till I get to.
Hello.
All right, so I've got to right at the beginning of where I start speaking. I'm going to click this button here that says Add Caption Media. And it's going to start a caption right there. So you can see on the timeline, I've started a new caption here. And once I've done that, you remember those two buttons that I talked about before, those two come into play again. So I'm going to hit return.
Hello, and welcome to Internet 101. Today we'll be learning how to navigate to the Westchester University web.
And I can just type in what I just heard. Hello and welcome to Internet 101. Today we're going to learn how to navigate to the Westchester. Let's hear that again.
Hello, and welcome to Internet 101. Today we'll be learning how to navigate to the Westchester University web.
We'll mess that up a little bit. We'll be learning how to navigate to the Westchester University. And then I think we had our stop there. So I'm going to go down here, say add caption, and I can just kind of stick that in the timeline right next to the new one. And now same thing, hit return.
Simply open your browser and type in the URL at the top of the page.
Website. Simply open your browser and start.
Website. Simply open your browser and type in the URL at the top of the page.
Type in the URL at the top of the page. Okay. Add another caption. Now, what I can do here is, I know I've got some time, right? There's some time where I'm typing there and nothing really goes on.
Press return.
And I can just kind of line it up so it matches with the audio in my recording here so that the caption won't appear until I start talking again, right? So let's hit return.
Press return, and that will take you directly to Westchester's site. Thanks for watching.
That will take you directly to Westchester's site. Thanks for, and then I think I had watching right at the end there, right? So that's it. All of my captions are in there. So multiple ways of getting this in there. Obviously a little bit easier if you have a transcript, but let's face it, most of us probably don't do that. Most of us, when we're making, some sort of an educational video, we're just kind of winging it a little bit. I mean, just kind of as we do in class. I mean, I don't think many of us will actually write down everything that we're going to say if we're standing up and delivering a face-to-face class. So once you have your captions in there, then there are a couple of ways to get this to where you need it to go. Now, I'm going to make the assumption that you're going to be uploading this to YouTube. And the nice thing is that if you remember, first of all, let's save what we're doing here. If you remember, there is a share to YouTube button directly in Camtasia, right? So if I go ahead and I click that, and I give this a title, I'll say captioning demo with Camtasia. I'm not going to bother with description and tags and all that right now. I'm going to say unlisted. And there's a checkbox here that says upload captions. So you want to make sure that's checked. Now, that being said, I have to mention a caveat, and that is, as of about a month or so ago, TechSmith started having a problem with Camtasia. in that, and I'll show you the web page, in that despite having this box checked of uploading the captions, they're not being uploaded. So something happened either on TechSmith's end within Camtasia or on YouTube's end, but whatever it is, even having this checked is not uploading the captions to YouTube. I will show you how to get around that, and it's not terribly difficult. But let's go back. Let's upload this video. So, hopefully once this gets resolved, it'll just be a matter then of clicking that upload captions button, hitting upload, and then you're off and running, right? So now my video is being uploaded to YouTube. And there it is, and it says it's being processed. So of course, YouTube's got to go through its whole processing thing and whatnot. I'm going to go to the video manager. Okay, so here within YouTube, this is a list of all of the videos that I've put into my YouTube account. And here's the one that we just did, right? Captioning demo with Camtasia. I'm going to go ahead and click on it. And it looks like it's actually done with the processing. All right, so I now have a fully functioning YouTube video. One of the controls that you'll see when you're logged into your YouTube account is this closed captioning button right here underneath the middle of the video. If I click on that, it's going to ask what language is spoken most in this video. So you're essentially saying, I'm going to now create subtitles for this video. And I'll say English, and that's the default that I'll be using probably for most of my uploaded videos. And I'll say set language. Okay. So now we're kind of in this, managing subtitles and captioning window within YouTube. Let me go back to Camtasia. And what I'm going to do is right in the middle of the bottom of the captioning window, I'm going to click this button that says Export Captions. And it's going to say, okay, you can export it. There are a couple of file types. One is .srt and the other is .smi. Those are two very common captioning file formats. I'm going to leave it as SRT, and I'm going to give my file a name. So I'm going to say my Camtasia demo captions. I'm just going to save it on the desktop of my computer. Okay. And I'll hide this, and you can see there it is right there. It's just going to appear as a plain looking file. I'll go back into YouTube and I'll say add new subtitles or closed captioning. And it's going to say, okay, what language? I'm going to say English. And the very first option that I get here is upload a file. I'm going to click that, and it's going to ask me upload a text transcript or a timed subtitles file. This is an actual timed subtitles file. And I'm going to select that, and I'm going to click browse, and I'm going to find that file on my desktop that I just created from Camtasia. And there it is. I'm going to say open and upload. And there, right there, it'll show you the captions that we just created within Camtasia. And you can see that the timings are all there, when those particular captions are going to appear. And if I go ahead and press play in this preview window,
hello and welcome to Internet 101.
Now you can see the
Today
captions
we'll be
appear
how to
towards
to
the bottom of the video. So let me pause that and click publish. And now it's telling me I now have English captioning published to this video. Okay, so if I go back to the video now, you'll notice right here on the bottom right of the video, there's this little closed captioning button. And if I click that to turn it on and start playing.
Hello and welcome to Internet 101. Today we'll be
now my
learning how to
captions
navigate to the
start
Westchester
to
University website.
appear as I'm
Simply open
playing
your
it.
browser and type in the URL.
So that is, let me pause that. So those are going to appear now to anybody who plays this video within YouTube. They'll see them. They'll be able to read them. Shouldn't be any trouble whatsoever. So that is how you get subtitles from Camtasia to YouTube. Okay. So I've pretty much shown everything that you need to know to get started in terms of Camtasia. Let me show you now the captioning tools that are built into YouTube. And to do that, I'm actually going to use, I actually uploaded this same video yesterday, and I'll stop it there, within YouTube. Now, YouTube has a very interesting feature that can be very helpful. YouTube will try to caption the video for you. Okay. Now, that won't appear immediately after the video has been processed. Usually that takes some time to appear. What I usually tell people is after the video has been uploaded, wait for about a day or so. And if the video is going to get captioned, that's going to appear there. Now, in this case, the captioning, the automated captioning actually happened. So I'm going to turn it on and I'm going to play it. This is very similar to the text-to-speech feature within Camtasia, right? So YouTube kind of has its own text-to-speech, and it recognizes that if this video doesn't have captions, I'm going to try and make them for you, okay? So let me go ahead and play it, and we'll take a look at these, and we'll see.
Hello and welcome to Internet 101. Today we'll be learning how to navigate to the Westchester University website. Simply open your browser and type in the URL at the top of the page. Press return, and that will take you directly to Westchester's site. Thanks for watching.
Okay, got a little messed up towards the end, but actually those really weren't too bad. I will say YouTube's text-to-speech tends to work much better than Camtasia's. So the nice thing is I can now go and I can click down here in the controls part below the video, okay, on the subtitles and closed captioning section, right? And I see that I have these subtitles that have already been published. And you can see it says English with automatic in parentheses. So these are the English subtitles that YouTube automatically generated for this video. Now, before I go and talk about this a little bit more, I will say that YouTube will not automatically caption every video. If your video gets captions, then the YouTube gods have smiled upon you, and life is good, and now it's just a matter of making some small changes here and there. But if YouTube does not caption your video, there could be several reasons why, and they actually offer a web page that explains what some of those reasons are. And what they list on this page is, there are 5 reasons. The language in the video is not yet supported by automatic captions. Okay, so you're speaking a language that YouTube just doesn't recognize. The video is too long. I don't know what too long means exactly. They don't give a time about what exactly makes a video too long. So that's not very helpful. The video has poor sound quality or contains speech that YouTube doesn't recognize. Okay, makes sense. There's a long period of silence at the beginning of the video. This one is important because if your video doesn't get captioned, this could be a primary reason why, especially if, let's say, you kind of put in some sort of introductory kind of music and a slide with some information about your video or something like you did some, a little bit of editing in the beginning there, and there's no talking happening until maybe, a little bit later on. That could be why your video is not being automatically captioned, okay? And then also there are multiple speakers whose speech overlaps. All right, so two people kind of speaking out over each other, and YouTube just can't understand what's going on. Okay, when they speak. So things to keep in mind if you are going to kind of work with the automated captioning feature within YouTube. But let's go back. And as I mentioned before, now it's just a matter of really kind of making a few corrections to what's already there. So if I click on that track and I go and I select one of them, now it's just kind of a matter of cleaning this up. So let's capitalize. Whoops, got to hit the edit key down here. Okay, so let's capitalize hello. And we can go ahead and play this and see where we are. Or actually, no, I think we can kind of figure it out from here. Hello and welcome to Internet 101. Probably a period after that. And then today, capitalized, we'll be learning how to navigate to the Westchester University website. Period. Simply open your browser and type in the URL at the top of the page. And I think then that there's a little bit of pause. We say press return, comma, and that will take you directly to the Westchester, 2 words. And then down here I say site, period, thanks for watching, period. So just a few small edits needed in order to clean this up. When I'm done, I say publish edits. And so now you see there are 2 tracks. One is the automatic one. Okay, so that was the one that YouTube created that still has the small issues and problems and whatnot. The other is this new one that I just created. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this. Whoa, YouTube had a little problem there. I'm going to click on this automatic one. Come on now, there we go. And I'm just going to say unpublish and then exit. Right. So now I have one that is just in a draft, right? It's not going to be used. And then this other one, English, that is published, that will be used. Okay. So that's one feature of actually doing the captioning within YouTube. Let's see. The other is, let's go and I'm actually going to delete all of the subtitles we have in here so far. So basically we have an untitled YouTube video now. There's another way called transcribe and autosync. So again, this is if you have a transcript already written out. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to say add new subtitles or closed captioning, select English, and then I'm going to click the second button that says transcribe and autosync. And basically what it's going to say is, okay, let's have all the text here. So I have that from my transcript, right? Let me go back, copy it, paste it in, and I'm going to click this button that says set timings. And what that's going to do, and it's working right now, is it's going to go through the text and it's going to create captions and match them up to the audio as best as it can. And in my experience, it actually works pretty well. This could take a little amount of time for this to happen. That's why I try to keep these demo videos short, because the longer the video, obviously, the longer it takes for me to type in captions or to have it process and work on these types of setting the captions and reading and whatnot. So let's kind of take a look here and see where we are. Let's go back.
Hello.
Okay. And there we go. It's now in draft mode. which means that it essentially says that it's been processed, it's done. If I click on it, I can go and I can look and see, where it has put these captions in. So if I go ahead and hit play.
Hello and welcome to Internet 101. Today we'll be learning how to navigate to the Westchester University website. Simply open your browser and type in the URL at the top of the page. Press return, and that will take you directly to Westchester's site. Thanks for watching.
Okay, so that actually worked fairly well. And now it's just a matter of hitting publish. And now I have a new set of published English captioning. Let's go back in. I'm going to delete this and show you a couple other methods very quickly that you can do within YouTube. So again, I'm starting over here, no captions within this video. I'm going to say add new captioning in English. I'm going to do this transcribe and auto sync again, but instead of pasting in a file with the transcript already, I'm just now going to essentially type in what's in this video. I'm going to do dictation, really is what's going to happen. And the nice thing is right below where you do the dictation, there's this little checkbox that says pause video while typing. So I can go ahead and hit play, and after I've listened to a little bit, I can start typing it in, and it's going to pause the video. So let's go ahead and do that.
Hello and welcome to Internet 101. Today we'll be learning how to navigate
Internet 101. Today we'll be learning
to the Westchester University website.
How to navigate to the Westchester University website. All right, and I'll pause it there. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but essentially what's going to happen is kind of the same thing as if you had your transcript, right? You're going to type the whole thing out, and then you're going to click on set timings, and it's going to go ahead and match up all of that text that you just transcribed into the proper time set locations for those various captions. So kind of a nice little dictation sort of feature there. I'm going to throw this out again, and I'm going to show you one last way of doing it within YouTube. So I'm going to say new English captioning. Very last one is create new subtitles or close captioning, the very last button here in the YouTube window. And now essentially what happens is kind of sort of like the dictation feature I just showed you. Okay, so you can kind of play along.
Hello.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it right there because that's where I stopped. That's where I started talking, and I'm going to hit the plus here, and it's going to kind of create a new subtitle, and I can kind of type in then whatever I said here. So hello and welcome to Internet 101, and I won't go on. But essentially, what you have now is this kind of timeline where it makes up the captions here, and then you drag the beginning or end of it to match up where the caption belongs, right? So I can make this longer, I can kind of make it shorter, however long it's supposed to go. And then it's just a matter of, finding where the caption starts, hitting the plus button, typing in my caption, going to the next one, right? So let's kind of skip ahead a little bit.
Hello and welcome to Internet 101. Today we'll be learning how...
All right, so let's say I wanted to do another caption there. I could hit plus. Today we're going to, again, I know I'm not matching this up perfectly, but this is just to kind of give you a sense, right? And so now here I can make it appear longer or shorter, however long I want that caption to be there. This is, in my opinion, and I think probably in most people's opinion, the most tedious way of getting captions within YouTube. And even YouTube says that. I mean, if you look down here, there are a couple of lines that say, looking for a faster way to enter subtitles, try the transcribe and set timings option, right? So it's actually recommending that you go back to that that functionality that I showed you before, where you just kind of transcribe the whole thing, and then YouTube will find the proper locations for the various captions throughout the video. So, this is possible if you really want to get into some fine tuning of where you want the captions to appear, but I don't typically recommend this method. I think the transcription method tends to work much more quickly and efficiently. So that being said, that is the last way of getting your movie captioned within YouTube. So let's switch back real quick and just get, I know we're kind of running towards the end of time here. And I just want to mention a couple of things real quick. Before we are done. Captioning with My Media, or what was formerly known as Kaltura. It is possible to do this. So if you use My Media, you can caption videos that way. It's unfortunately, though, a bit more of a manual process. So essentially what you would do is you would go and you would create your captions within Camtasia. Or if you actually like YouTube's functionality better, you could do it in there and then just export the caption file out of YouTube. But essentially, you're going to create that SRT file, like I showed you how to do before in Camtasia. You're going to upload your video to My Media as you would normally through D2L. And then you need to get in touch with D2L services. You need to send them the SRT file, and they will put it in to the video that you've uploaded. Unfortunately, for My Media, this is not an automatic process. So there is kind of that extra step of waiting within there. That's pretty much it. I have some links here for some more information. We put all these videos and webinars that we do up on our website, so don't worry about frantically copying all of this down now. It'll be available later on, or if you want me to send you this slide, I'll be happy to do that. But here's a place where you can get more information and tutorials also about how to do captions both within Camtasia for Windows and Mac, and in YouTube as well. And are there any questions? Does anybody have any questions about anything we've talked about here, or maybe something I didn't talk about? Angela said, could you send that last slide? Yes, I will get it to you. I'll make sure you get that. So, any other questions? Okay, well, if there are no more questions, then I would just like to thank you for attending today's webinar. We appreciate it. Once again, here is our contact information if you want to get in touch with any of us, and we are all on Twitter as well. I hope you enjoyed this, and feel free to reach out to us if you need any help related to this whatsoever. So, have a good weekend.